And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Just as we were getting ready for air, both teams coming out of their locker rooms, out of the tunnel, and this crowd is pumped up as their Redskins get set to match up with the Houston Texans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Richmond. Black 99 Philly. Come back. Tiger.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They go play action here on first down. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. Now a first down throw, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. 23 yards on the play. And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed that went right into the game plan. Attack them early, see if they're going to play any better. And if not, you keep the pressure on them until things change.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now a first carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Black 99 Philly. Two jet.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Here's Tywan Jones on the return. On first down, it's Smith. And his first pass is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Smith. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Smith. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Watson now to throw, and it's incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
On the counter, it's Miller. And he's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they can open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different...
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And it's 15-0. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Now Jones. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Richmond. Down. Blue 80. Come back. Blue 80.
To throw on second is Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And that is incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Jones on the return. Well, sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
Now, I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. They'll drop it off to Pirine, complete. And a pretty nifty hurdle there before he's brought down. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Hey, gun. Fly.
Play action. It's Smith. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. Give him 30 yards there.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. From the red zone now, Smith. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off down near the 5, and I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 40.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Come back.
On 1st down, it's Watson, and that is incomplete. Breaking that one up, the former All-Pro Josh Norman. So getting in there to swat that one away, Josh Norman defensively.
I still remember the first time I saw him in person. It was a postseason college all-star game, and he's out of Coastal Carolina, and he was the buzz of the week. Everyone kept talking about that corner. Got to go back and do more work on him. It's paid off pretty darn well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Josh Norman's had quite an impact in the NFL.
Coastal Carolina round 5, and now a stud. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
Come back.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And this is caught at the 8. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. So now they assess a 3rd and long, and that holding call might have knocked him out of field goal range, at least for the moment. After the penalty, it's Miller. And we'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game, and I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Throw left side complete. It's Richardson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Get him, boy. Get him, boy. What are you doing?
Now Smith. He will find Davis on the left side complete. Davis fighting. He loses the football. And the Texans scoop it. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Give him 6 there, but now it's 3rd.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A beautiful fake. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
I can't say that I was really in love with the play call there. A draw in that situation, I know it's a risk-reward call. If it works, he walks in. But otherwise, you're bringing up a really tough 4th down situation.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely. a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Now Jones. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time they coughed it up. Led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Smith on first down. Buying time to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Smith. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
And certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sims. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On first down, Smith. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 46. Look at the big man rumble. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. So that's now 3 first-half interceptions, and that last one even costlier as it's returned for 6 points. So as a quarterback, how do you regain your focus?
Well, QB 101 says you never show them that you're sweating. Still act like you're the guy, that you've thrown 6 touchdown passes, not 3 interceptions. But he's human. He's got to face up to his teammates. He's got to own up to that. See if he can brace up and also not look over his shoulder and see his backup starting to warm up. It's going to be a tough one for him.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. It's Geis on the counter. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
And the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he's across the 43 extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Here's Foreman. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. A big-time ramble there by Foreman. 48 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try the air now with Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Akins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans continue to pour it on. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Now Jones. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. A first carry for Samaje Perine. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Right. Yellow.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And Davis with it left side. Davis fighting. He loses the football. And the Texans scoop it. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Here's Watson. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. Completion left side to Miller. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Here's Watson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Operating from the gun, Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A first down carry now for Miller. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Richmond.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Step, and he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson on his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans add on. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Now Jones. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Smith going to throw again. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. He was trying to get it there to Vernon Davis, the tight end. And now it's 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
We got three, fellas, we got 3.
A shotgun snap for Smith. Got a man out of the backfield. It's Chris Thompson. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. A gain of 19 in picking up the first.
Hey, on.
The final shot here before break. Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, it's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. Now Jones. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset.
Double.
But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't?
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. The former number 1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Smith. A deep ball for Dotson. And now here is another interception. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Here's a give to Miller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Now Jones. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Smith now to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. And the pitch goes to Miller. There he goes inside the 30. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Now Jones. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On 1st and 10, Smith. He'll get this out to his running back, P-Ryan. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. Throw left side complete. It's Richardson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. They are going for it. It's Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Texans take over an excellent field position.
Reset.
Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Right there. 54,
A carry for Foreman. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Down. Black 22.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans continue to pour it on. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Now Jones. Gets around him. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. On first down, it's Smith. Complete. Richardson has it. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Here's Smith now on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Redskins on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time, it's 3rd and 3. Throwing again is Smith. Out to the left, it's complete to Dodson. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They're going to go for it. It's Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Sims. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And he's going to go out of bounds at the 30-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers.
And now here's another interception. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
They begin with a run by Miller. And he'll power his way up near the 25. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Miller. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Richmond. Come back. Down. Green, Tiger.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They start on the ground with P-Ryan. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Jonathan Joseph there for the tackle.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Now Smith looking to throw on 2nd down. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Now Jones. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Hey, on. Hey, you got 3.
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. 3rd and long, it's Smith. And this is going to be incomplete. The former first-round pick, Kareem Jackson, there defensively. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
52. 35. Set. Line 80. 4 down. Regular.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Looking deep downfield. And this is going to be incomplete. Jay Gruden's guys unable to convert on 4th down. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll run it again with Miller. Miller with a 1st down and more. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, a 22-yard scamper, and the Texans add on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Smith now throwing again. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The Redskins on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Settle down, huh?
From the gun, here's Smith. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And now out comes Houston. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
They'll toss it to Miller. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Watson on third down. He's going to let this one go deep. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Hey, on. Check, crunch. 12.
Here's Smith to throw on second down. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 1st down, Smith. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Stops shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Out of the gun, Smith. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Justin Reed. Oh, what a juke into space. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now Jones. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. Fresh off the pick six, it's Smith. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the gun on third down, Smith looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sims. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pick up there of 20 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the 50, it's Smith. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Play action. It's Smith. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. DJ Reader in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The Redskins on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 16. A shotgun snap for Smith. Throw right side, caught by Davis. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Smith on 1st down. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Let's go, 15. Stand up there.
From the gun, Smith. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out.
I said. Liz.
Now Smith on 3rd and goal. This is caught. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin, 4th quarter. You're going. And maybe a final chance to get on the scoreboard here. This is 4th and goal. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no zero. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Houston, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they dropped their 7th game on the year. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.